Well, none of this wonderful day would have been possible without the freedom of speech, but do we have it? Well, thank goodness we're in here with lovely views of Malmesbury, and we've got good weather. It's not raining cats and dogs, or as we now say, handcuffs and D-notices, thanks to the new Home Secretary. My name is Roger Wright-Morris, editor and promoter of a non-political, cross-party Brexit freedom website called concordanceOUT. Concordance, because I think we're all in agreement with those concepts. Out is essential because otherwise you'll get something to do with the Greek language. concordanceOUT. If only the uninformed politicians, especially the PM, read from my website and inwardly digested the details, as those with white hair will remember we were taught, then Brexit would be achieved and freedoms released from the current perils. Now, good health, of course, is the first essential, but the second is freedom. Freedom to think, freedom to move, freedom to respect and to listen. We must maintain our customs, our traditions, freedom to be tolerant to the tolerant and respectful. We seek tolerance and respectfulness not only from all immigrants, but from the House of Lords and the Ramonas. Our democracy and our Christian ways receive neither. Dr. Karl Popper said that the paradox of tolerance says that unlimited tolerance will lead to the death of tolerance. Accordingly, it is vital that defending tolerance includes being intolerant of intolerance and intolerant of disrespectfulness. Those were his words after the last war, 1945, and this is the essence of British, which we stand for. So those who are politically correct, PC, are in grave error. The Met Police, the Ramonas, are wrong. Are the Thought Police here today? I'm free to carry on, but it's worse. The media is not free. The media in this country are a collection of interest groups that ruthlessly promote their own agendas. And they bend the facts when it suits them. We know this. That was the case over the referendum, and it's the case now. Brexit Remainer behaviour is bent. But it's worse. Mrs. May is trading away our military defence for commercial matters. See the Kit Kat papers on my website, concordanceOUT.eu. Look at Brexit Reset. It's on the desk of every MP on my website, stolen from the CIB, wonderful website, Campaign for an Independent Britain. Now PESCO, now the Brockbank papers. A lot of this may be new to you, but it's there. Treasonous. Now, if the UK cannot defend itself and is a subordinated country to the EU, which is what May wants, then we are vulnerable. Not only has NATO lost a basic ally to a competitive arm, which is the EU army, but it's worse than that. We're still members of the Treaty of Velsen. It's on my leaflet, Brexit Facts, on the website. The Treaty of Velsen was where every member of the EU permits the EU army to invade them uninvited, to restore order. These would be jackboots with arms and controlled by other people. Treaty of Vincennes, on that wonderful website, concordanceOUT.eu. But above all, I still have the freedom to speak. The PC world of untruth speak is not free. It is a betrayal of all these freedoms. This has been observed in the arrest of Paul Weston on the streets of Winchester. The arrest of that lovely, mild, inquiring, soft-spoken Hyde Park lady who next day the police illegally threatened to burst her door down, let them in. What's happened to her? This is, oh, there are others, of course. Tommy Robinson, Jada Franson, Paul Golding, the veteran Jez Bedford-Turner. Possibly even the poet and singer of unsavory history, Alison Chabloz, being sentenced on the 14th of June, but at least she doesn't sing the vile nonsense of Ariana Grande. Don't read their words, you're not old enough. Now, these are more than the thin end of a tsunami of PC and CP, common purpose. Attacks on all that the UK cherishes as its Christian and cultural traditions. It's lovely to see Benjamin here, lovely to see our friend from India. I don't know whether you have the same values, but I suspect, having spoken to you both, you do. Thank you. But we are now being corrupted by the untruthful, bully platform of PC and CP. CP has an international agenda. Brexit voters don't. We have a national agenda. PC destroys all that's true and good. It's given birth to an ugly sibling, hate speech. A crime, it seems, which doesn't need a guilty mind, mens rea. It doesn't need an actus reus, a guilty act, because the person you're speaking to may not take offense. But the gross offensiveness is taken by the officious bystander. This is tyrannous, unlawful, and Orwellian, but it's happening. I'll give you an example. In, let's say, tomorrow or the day after papers, you'll have this article. The Archbishop of Canterbury in his cathedral is reading the Athanasian Creed, used since the 6th century, confirming the Holy Trinity, and thereby the PC world of hate crime would permit him thereby to cause offense to those who are Muslims, seeking another but single God. When the reading was concluded, the police, you'll read tomorrow, arrested the Archbishop for the hate crime of causing gross offense to the one Muslim wandering around admiring the architecture. No doubt one of those many who march in the Pall Mall under a banner seeking beheading for all those who insult Muhammad. And of course, if you're saying believe in the Trinity, is that not an insult to Muhammad? But of course, they were escorted by the Metropolitan Police, the same police who shield the extreme Muslim drivers. Not all Muslim, most of them are absolutely fine and welcome, but the extreme ones you've seen on YouTube, leaning out of vehicle windows, threatening to murder Christians. Such is the nonsense of hate crime at the moment. But hating is ridiculous. It hurts the hater. We all avoid hating. I don't hate. It achieves nothing. Yet this so-called hate crime, coupled with PC, is destroying the very freedoms that we need to advance PC, to advance Stephen's projects, to advance all your projects. Because without the freedom, you're all doomed. Where is today's respect and English humour? Now, of course, I've got some marvellous cartoons on the website, concordanceOUT.eu. Open them up, read them, they're wonderful. But such is the Alice in Wonderland world in which we now find ourselves. Truth is vital in thought word and deed. Education requires truth. But there is not that much truth in our schools. Read the history syllabus. Benin bronzes, Chinese emperors. You do the French Revolution without any mention of Napoleon. You couldn't believe it. Generations have been betrayed, as the wonderful educationist Christopher McGovern has worked hard to proclaim, and one of his pamphlets is called Generations Betrayed. It's on that other wonderful website, CIB, Campaign for an Independent Britain. It's brilliant. It should worry all fathers, mothers, and grandparents. Westminster does not listen. Not that it's deaf. If the facts and opinion come from the wrong source, it must be wrong. But if it comes from the muddle, babble, bubble of PC sources, it's obviously right. It's the same ignorance and disaster with Brexit. You couldn't believe it. The Prime Minister becomes Prime Minister and she immediately rules out any way of solving the problem and has devoutly stuck to that ridiculous thing ever since. So you imagine, here's my new cartoon for tomorrow, a Trojan horse being sent up the Thames estuary with a rocket engine, Theresa May at the helm, and the few Brexiteers have got a skiff trying to row her back. Not a chance. We've got to fight for freedom. Now, humour. Here's a little bit of humour. Besides my wonderful cartoons, but I'm indebted to the Daily Telegraph on Tuesday for suggesting an idea for a humorous cartoon for Heathrow. Here we go. It epitomises the cesspit of disasters that the UK now finds itself in. Here's a departure board from vassal state to abroad. Westminster, bias and obstruction, boarding. Integrity, cancelled indefinitely. Brexit, still delayed. Incompetence and muddle, boarding. Ignorance and impracticability, boarding. Uncertainty and secrecy, boarding. Patriotism, loyalty and democracy, delayed. Truth, cancelled. What to do now? Well, we have to regain our freedoms and achieve a true Brexit. The answer is, through PR, to promote a united party. It's no good all these parties and everyone in this room paddling their own canoe. We've got to listen to what will make PR work, which is moderation and working together. So whether you are the Freedom Party or the British Party or the Cornish Liberals or UKIP, it's got to be new. Why? Because Farage and the referendum is behind us. It's got to be united. Yes, UKIP, new UKIP GB or whatever you want to call it, but it's got to be a unity. Only political parties will change the current disasters. And they will only get in if we get PR. By all means, march, that's necessary. Demonstrate, by all means. Write and blog, and laugh at my blog too. But in the end, it is the street army of people who get off their backsides and go and talk to those in the street. They need leaflets, and leaflets must be informative. They must deal with the main things. Brexit, how to do it. Freedom, patriotic loyalty. The rest will follow. It's time I finished. Please act now. It is vital for you, your children and grandchildren. I'll soon be dead and gone, along with you. And we all hope that the lamps of freedom and the torches of Brexit will shine brightly evermore. Thank you very much.